Oh, you look down from the Goodyear airship. That's Ashley Force Hood on the left and Tony Pedregon on the right. And this was the run that put Ashley Force Hood into the finals at the U.S. Nationals. Right off the line, all the way to the finish, it was Ashley. And now, reminder that the aerial coverage here today is provided by Goodyear, the official tire of the NHRA. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Now let's go to John Kernan.
And Ashley is back in the pits. Her crew turning around the car, getting it ready for the finals, where you'll face your teammate Robert Height. And Ashley, we saw the emotions spill over down at the far end. You were there, a witness to your father and Tony Pedregon. How do you, after witnessing that, how do you refocus to get ready for the finals?
Yeah, I came out of the hatch and I thought maybe I'd go back into my Mustang and get back to the pit. But, you know, that shows the emotion for everyone. You know, this is a really intense sport, and all these drivers and all these teams, they spend a lot of time away from their families. They spend a lot of money and a lot of, nerves to do well. So you can understand the intensity for any team, whether they're winning or losing. But I was just, happy with my guys. I didn't want them to let that get in their minds. We're going to the final against Robert. We're really excited. This is the very best, I think, U.S. Nationals we've ever had for, in the Mac Tool U.S. Nationals. Obviously, that's our sponsor, so we want to do well at this race. And however this day ends up, one of our teams is going to that winner's circle, and hopefully I can take my brother-in-law out, and maybe it'll be us.
Well, how much confidence do you now have, considering the way that car ran and pulled away from Tony Pedregon in the semifinals?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be, a side-by-side race, and I could hear him out next to me, so I was just hoping my win light would go on. But Robert has been running awesome all weekend long. You got to give Jimmy Prock and that team, credit, because they've had a tough season, but they really pulled it together when they needed to. But I can't complain about my bunch as well. Guido and Ron, they've stuck there with me through my ups and downs and my struggles with the tree, and given me a great Mustang, so maybe we can do it again and just have a really close side-by-side race.
We'll see you down on the far end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. And Mike Dunn, who takes this all very seriously, has been adding up and averaging some numbers and looking at this whole situation. Mike, what do you feel now?
Well, you got to look at the facts. And, John Force said they made their best run in the right lane. That's why they took it. Well, that was it. Qualifying. He ran that 410 in the right-hand lane. In eliminations, nobody in the fuel categories was taking the right-hand lane if they had lane choice. Now, obviously, it was good. Ashley Force went out there and made a good run. Now, in response to Graham Light saying they will go over there and they will look at all the data on the computer, well, John Force, if you go up there and you set it up exactly the way it was the round before and you drive it right out of the groove, guess what? It's going to smoke the tires, and you didn't make a single change on the car. How are you going to prove that? I think it stinks to high heaven. I love John Force, but I can't sugarcoat this.
Oh, come on. Tell us what you really feel, Mike. Lay it out there. Well, it was a moment. Let's take a look at the run again.
John has an average reaction time of 0.86, and then he goes up there with a 2.09 light and then just drives it straight to the wall. Come on, he's a better. You watch him in the first round. He leaves, he has a great reaction times, it rattles the tires, he pedals it, and wins the race.
Well, and back in their tech center now, the NHRA officials, Dan Olson and company, and Bernie Federley is showing them the computer.
They're not going to find anything because they set it up the same way and he drove it out of the groove, and end of story.
Well, while they look at that, we'll continue to monitor that one for you. Let's revisit this run because NHRA officials are, everybody is. This is what started the controversy.
John Force launches off the starting line, and the front end's on the ground. He's able to drive it, but it drives it right out of the groove. You see, as soon as it gets out of the groove, it smokes the tires and starts drifting sideways. Say the tempers flare is an understatement. Tony just believes that John Force is throwing the race that kept his brother out of the countdown, and he took offense to that, to say the least. And John took offense to the fact that he said it.
Well, we can get some more definition now. Dave Reef has Graham Light, who will speak for the officials.
You bet. Earlier we saw Rich Schreck, Dan Olson down in the pit area of John Force Racing, looking over everything. You've just received the phone call. What have you determined?
Well, first off, let me say that NHRA will not tolerate multi-teams manipulating a race, the outcome of a race, particularly of a race of this importance. So when that happens, or is suspected to happen, we thoroughly review the video of the run. We review the tune-up of the car. The tech department looks at the car down the top end. We follow it back to the pits. In reviewing the run, we saw that John Force got out of the groove. Was that intentional, or, you know, we do have cars get out of the groove, so there's no proof positive there. Car smoked the tires. So did the two top fuel cars immediately in front of him, Spencer Massey and Brandon Bernstein. So if you're going to overturn the results of a race, you better have conclusive evidence to do so. In Dan Olson, Rich Schreck's review of the videos and the tune-up on the car, they detected nothing that would be conclusive evidence as an intentional manipulation of the race, and for that reason the race stands.
Had they done that, of course, the race could have been reversed. Now, going forward from here, could there be any other penalties handed out for the altercation?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity yet to totally review the video and what happened down there and talk to any of our people. We'll certainly review that. That's not something that needs to be decided right now. Right now we're focused on this event and the final race of the countdown, determining the 10 cars that are in that spot and the U.S. Nationals winner.
An eventful day, an emotional day, oh yeah, to say the least.
Well, not unexpected, because one, you've got the pressure of overturning a race, and two, you said you're not going to find it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about beyond reasonable doubt. There will always be reasonable doubt when you're dealing with a fuel-funded car or top fuel dragster because, A, they smoke the tires. B, drivers do make mistakes and have late reaction times. C, they do have brain failure and red light. Well, John, you know, I mean, he was dead late, but he has an 0.86 average. He goes up there and goes 2.09 and then drives or makes a right turn out of the groove. You know, I'm sticking by what I say. I mean, I can't say 100% for sure without reasonable doubt that it was thrown, but boy, it does stink.
And then when it was all done, this didn't get any better. And John Force pushing back an NHRA official so that he can get right in Tony Pedregon's face.
He should be fine for that one.